Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess and you're watching the Cat Hour where we're all meat, no filler, because even though I'm a vegetarian, cats are not. So for my first little vlog thing, I kind of wanted to cover bringing a new cat into your household. I think it's something that everybody can really relate to, as everybody who is watching a cat vlog is probably going to have a cat at some point in their life. This is Gracie. She says, hey everybody. Um, so I just have a list of 10 things to keep in mind when you're bringing home a new cat or kitten. And the first thing I want to cover is if you already have a cat, what to do in that situation. So the first thing that's really important to keep in mind is having a safe room for the new cat, because you're going to want to introduce your cat and your new cat very slowly. They need to meet on a sense by sense basis. So you want to start with having them smell each other through the door, and having them eat on either side of the door together at the same time, so they can associate each other with their food time and kind of look forward to that time they spend eating together. Do that for a while until they get used to it, and then after that you're going to want to introduce them by sight and have a baby gate up at the door with a towel draped over the door so they can see, but they cannot physically get face to face yet. So pretty much when you're doing that, you want to reward them with treats if they don't hiss at each other. You always want to end with happy ears and happy tails on a positive note, no hissing or growling, and reward them for being on their best behavior. Eventually they'll grow to associate each other with good things, and they'll look forward to the door opening up for good and meeting face to face who's on the other side of it. The second thing you want to remember when bringing home a new fur kid is, what is that cat's needs? Do you have everything they need already? Do you have a litter box, the appropriate litter scoops, food? It's really important for cats to have a high moisture diet, as they don't seek out a water dish the way other mammals do. So they're used to getting the majority of their moisture from their diet. And so you'll need a water dish as well, even though they probably maybe won't drink out of it. My cats both don't drink out of their water dish ever. Toys, interactive and solo toys. A good way to introduce them to you is through interactive toys. So you're going to want a lot of those. You need scratchers, little hideaway areas. If you look behind me, you can see Pooh's favorite hideaway. She loves that little tent. You're going to need a cat tree. And the only thing that I don't really worry so much about getting right away with a cat is a bed, because most cats like to decide for themselves where they're going to sleep. Gracie sleeps in my bed because she's a spoiled baby, and Nelson sleeps upstairs on his couch, even though he has a bed, but whatever. Nelson just attacked Pooh's butt. So the third thing that's really important to keep in mind is everything takes patience with a cat. They're not going to recognize you as their owner right away, more than likely. They're going to have to warm up to you, especially if you adopted a shelter cat. They might not really understand human interaction, and they might have had a previous owner who did not treat them well. So it's important to get them to recognize you as their source of fun and food, and let them see you being the one who feeds them. Let them see you being the one who's playing with interactive toys with them. And on their own terms, they'll come to realize that they kind of like you because you're providing them with all of their needs. And they will warm up, and it really have to focus on it being on their own terms, because if you try to force a cat to love you, they are going to hate you. That being said, I can't count. The fourth thing on my list of things to remember when bringing home your new cat is they are not toys and they are not gifts for children. Cats, of course, can be a great family pet, as can any other animal. However, you need to show your kids how to love a cat, and you need to verify with the shelter you're adopting from that they are a child-friendly cat. Cats are naturally hunters. They do not want to have their tails pulled, their ears pulled. Of course, there are breeds that differentiate from this, but this is the norm. So you want to make sure you get a kid-friendly cat and show your kids how the cat wants to be loved, to make sure that there's no altercations between kid and cat. You don't want your cat trying to scratch your kid. You don't want your kid trying to scratch your cat. Hopefully that would be bad times for all. Thing number 5 is cats will scratch. That is what they do. There are ways to prevent them from scratching things that you do not want to be scratched. However, they still might scratch you during play or if they are scared. So the safest alternative for declawing, which hopefully you would never do if you're thinking about getting a cat, is to clip their nails every 2 weeks. If you're not doing that, then they sell these things called soft paws, which are little covers you can put on your cat's nails. They're like a little acrylic manicure for cats, so when they scratch things, it doesn't leave a mark, it doesn't hurt, so they can't ruin your furniture or your skin. But they will scratch, so it's really important to get the appropriate amount of scratchers. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube for how to make your own scratchers, as well as they sell them at PetSmart, local pet stores, wherever you're shopping for your cat. I'm sure they sell them there. Thing number 6 is cats are obligate carnivores and hunters by nature. So you're going to want to get foraging toys, which are really fun actually, and while it's best to start them foraging at a young age, nobody ever said you can't teach an old cat new tricks. So if you want to do a little research on foraging toys, they're really fun, and they don't have to go outside. Preferably keep your cat inside. They are harmful to nature, and nature is harmful to them, so you want to keep them indoors definitely. Get them microchipped just in case they go outside, but they are hunters. They want to hunt. So foraging toys are basically like they can be like a little ball or a little box where your kitty has to dig around for their food, and they get the food as a reward and not just as an obligation, like everyday part of their routine. Hey, I'm getting fed, I didn't have to work for this. So they really enjoy that. Number 7, find a vet before you adopt. Yeah, do your research. It's really important to keep up to date on all your vaccinations, and while most shelters provide this spay and neuter, not all of them do. And you're going to want to get your cat spayed or neutered so you don't contribute to pet overpopulation, because we don't need any more cats in shelters. We really don't. Like, as much as I love cats and I want everyone to adopt one, there's too many in kill shelters. So please, spay and neuter your pet, get their vaccinations. The easiest way to find a vet you're going to like is figure out what you want in a vet. Do you want a holistic vet, a traditional vet, a local one, a low-cost vet even? And ask around for people in your area who they see that meets those terms that you've come up with. And you will find the right one, and you can go ahead and call them and be like, hey, I'm adopting a cat on this day. I'd like to come in and get them checked out and see, make sure they're up to date on everything, make sure you get them microchipped, all the good stuff, and they will be so happy. Every cat loves the vet. Thing number 8 is name picking. Name picking is a really fun part of getting a cat. I have a couple of ways to help decide on a name written down. So you can ask for suggestions, obviously, from people you know, or you can let your family help you decide. If you have kids, they can help you pick the name. I personally really love food-related names for cat, like Taco or Pickles or Noodle, anything silly. My cat's names are polar opposites. I have Pooh, who is named after Pooh, and Nelson, who is named after my ex-boyfriend who passed away, because we found him on his birthday, so that was pretty neat. He's also a tuxedo cat, and we'll talk about what the patterns of cats mean in a later video, but the relation of tuxedo cats is really cool. So yeah, really anything you want, but remember that it's a name that you're going to continue to stay for 20 plus years, so pick something that you like. However, cats will end up with nicknames, like 30 of them. Gracie is Pooh, by the way. So she's Gracie Bella, she's Binker, she's Pinkerton, she's Pooh-Bah, she's Grease Lightning. She has so many nicknames that it's not even funny. So just keep that in mind. You're going to end up with nicknames that might be more suited to personality if that happens to be a factor for you. So learning about what meows mean. You may have a talkative cat, or you may have a cat that is mute as a mouse. So you want to learn what different meows mean, and most of them are happy sounds, like anything like that is kind of like, hey, I like what you're doing. Purring is good. The two sounds you really have to look out for are hissing and yowling, and you want to figure out what triggers those sounds in your cat. and make sure that you try to prevent those sounds from happening as much as possible. We want happy cats. For Gracie, if she gets upset, I use my little soothing baby voice. I'm like, hey Pooh, what's mama's doing? It's my baby girl. That, I mean, really, that's how I talk to her, so don't judge me. That's my cat voice. But that helps her calm down a lot. I play the keyboard for them and I sing, even though I don't have the best voice. They really like it. So the final thing, and I think it's the most important thing to remember, is that while you have other things going on in your life, your cat is not. So you want to cherish every moment you have with them. You are the whole world to them, the good and the bad. So, I mean, try to do everything in your power to keep them purring, and they'll do the same for you. I just think, like, please don't adopt a cat if you're looking. Here, I want you to meet Nelson. Here's Nelson. If you're looking for someone that you can just leave home alone all the time, cats don't, like, there's a misconception that cats are okay with being alone, but my cats both want to be around me as much as possible. They are lovers. They love me. I'm their mom. I'm all they've got other than each other and other family. But if nobody's home, they don't understand that. So it's really important to not get a cat if you're just looking for something to fill your time. It's about them too, and they are a lifelong commitment. So remember that as well. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to subscribe, obviously you can. I'm going to put out new cat-related videos every Sunday, and I'm thinking about maybe uploading some piano covers as well on maybe Tuesdays, just for fun. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up, leave comments, share with your friends who are thinking about getting a cat, and let me know as well in the comments any other videos, topics you'd like to have covered. Thank you.